Andrew from C1D Paintball, and this dispatch is being released a year after Connor and I's first experience with a big game, which is Commando Action Center's D-Day, first time outdoors, first time big game. Mentioned it before, we've seen the videos. Of course, it's being, 2020 edition's being postponed till next year, understandably, the whole quarantine thing. And it'll be back, and it'll be bigger and better than ever, the 10th anniversary, and it'll be great. Looking forward to it. Just wanted to take the opportunity to say a little story of something that happened at D-Day, which really kind of shows, why I like it so much. We all have these moments when we play any sport, paintball no exception, where we're kind of like, yeah, this is why I play. And even though we record lots and lots of video between Connor and I when we play, as long as we do have other members, but we usually have the cameras, there are lots of moments that aren't captured. And obviously, D-Day being a 6-hour event, there's only so many batteries to go around. So this little story is from the morning session when we played on the Axis side last year, and in the morning we were defending. And most of the battle was along the top of the forest line near Hamburger Hill, where we basically were pinned for a while. And at one point, we were being driven off it. And we're talking about maybe an hour left in the game, that part of the game, so 2 hours into it. And so you've got Hamburger Hill, the bad guys on the one side, we're defending the top of it. And we'd actually been driven back pretty far. And at this point, there were a few of us on the top of the hill. I'm not one of them, by the way, because while we had a few on the top, a lot of us were on the back incline looking up to the top because we could hear the Mirabel Army, which they were playing on the Allied side. You could hear them, their chant, Mirabel Armée, Mirabel Armée. Being French, I should probably say that with an accent, but I won't. So I just knocked the table. This isn't live, but it's not going to be edited, so the camera rocked. Anyway, so we could hear the guys from Mirabel getting all pumped up, getting ready to come over the hill. We did have a few guys on top. As soon as they'd go on top, they would be knocked out. We went from having dozens, if not a couple of hundred people defending that hill to, maybe 3-4 dozen. And as I fell back, because looking up the hill and behind some logs and some brush, I could see up the hill. And you could see a couple more little bunkers there, but any of our guys that went up there were getting killed. So it was clear we were there was a push coming. So we started going back a bit. We dug in. And, we occasionally would see one or two of the Allied come over, but just one or two. But we knew that push was coming. We heard the chant, Mirabel Armée, like, Jesus, they're going to come over the hill. And as more of us started to dig in and we kind of pulled back, I'm prone on the ground, 49-year-old man experiencing this for the first time, overheating the whole bit, loving it, but nonetheless, I'm on this front line. As I look around with each going minute, there's less and less of us. And behind us is a little village, and some people are retreating back there. But I mean, if they're retreating back there, my opinion is, hey, look, we're getting pushed back, but I mean, it's lost if we go back there. It might be inevitable, but I want to hold this line. But every few minutes I'm looking around, there's less and less of us, less and less. Guy goes up, comes back down, until basically there's maybe 2 or 3 guys up there. As soon as they're hit, maybe somebody replaces it. Now I remember this one guy in a kilt, and he ran up there, and he made Mirabel Armée know that he was coming up. I guess maybe he wanted to sound like a whole bunch of us. And charging up the hill, doing a war cry. And he ducked as shots just sprayed everywhere. And we're down on this incline, and as they're shooting up towards him, the long balls, the shots that are missing, are barely missing us. And we were like, okay, we're waiting. Well, this guy in the kilt had enough, and he starts to run back. Like, run as if it's real bullets coming by. And it wasn't the first time he already got hit, came back and went back up again. But all of a sudden he decides, I'm going to run back because he hadn't been hit. I guess he wants to retreat. My phone went off because I'm a busy person. Right in the middle of a good story. So I'm lying prone, and this guy's barreling back at me, coming down. He hasn't been hit. He doesn't want to get hit. And he's coming down, once again yelling, as if it's real bullets, is all that's going in my head. Like, wow, this guy's like into this. Jumps over me and someone else who was not too far from me, over a barrier, tumbles. They wanted to tumble. They wanted to do one of these tumbles you see real soldiers make, or people in sports, football players, when they jump over a pile and then just get back to their feet after they tumble out. This guy didn't. He basically face planted, kind of rolled up again, and just ran back. And just me and the other guy are kind of looking at each other. And then we look back up the hill, and that feeling like, man, this is intense. That feeling was so awesome playing there. And we waited for them to come over, and sure as hell they did come over. Mirabel Army, finally, couple of smokes, they're coming over. I remember trying to hunch down even lower to the ground as I'm prone, and just firing left and right, trying to empty the hopper, and just a wall of paint coming back till finally I was hit, laid down, the arm up. It might have been 5 or 6 seconds, but it was just so intense and such a rush, such a great feeling. It's like, that's why I'm out here. So that's a little story about that. And it's, different things get you going. Some guys like kill streaks, some guys, like guys and girls. Sorry, guys, I mean that generally. But this is the kind of thing that really gives me a rush, like, man, we are in this. And that's what hooked me on Commando Action Center and their big game. Did do a big game after that. It was a blast too. But that rush I had at D-Day was like, I'm back. I'm back next year. I'm back as, I want to do this again. And it was so great. I wish I had a camera, but great thing about stories is as you tell them, and as you go on, each subsequent version gets better and better. So the next time I tell the story, it'll be even better. So that is my Commando Action D-Day. Interrupted by a phone call. I was afraid my computer was going to go off at work, but I guess I'm not as essential worker as I thought. Anyway, that's it. So just keep on keeping on. Get out there, help the new players, be a good example, and, have fun, because at the end of the day, it's only a game.